Although there's only one we had it, so. Just put you on here as well. Morning, Leanne.
Sorry, I was on mute. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, just got back off holiday, so I'm looking at myself thinking, oh my word. I'm glad it's on Zoom. Oh, and it's being recorded. Nice.
Yes, it is.
Say no more.
People are arriving slowly. Morning, Bethany. You okay?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Although starting to get web feet with all this this rain.
I know it's terrible, isn't it? You'd think it were nearly summer.
Wouldn't you? I'll give up to my hair. I keep blow drying it all lovely, and then I go out and there's a bit of moisture and it just goes like Diana Ross. So I'll give up to it. Morning, Hassan.
Morning.
Morning. I'm sorry we've had to rearrange again. Well,
you should.
I'll be in touch with new dates. If you want to send me some dates where you're okay sometime, I can come over.
That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry.
Stop video. You don't want to stop the video. So have you named it as Tammy?
Mm-hmm.
Tammy?
Yes.
We can hear you.
It's trying to work the cat.
I know we've got some more people that are coming. At least one other. I know Naveed's on her way. You okay there, Tammy? Are you trying to work the technology? Well, she's gone now.
I'm here, sorry. We're
Not
just
talking to me.
So you muted.
We'll just give people another couple of minutes and then we'll start the party, folks. Although our two speakers are not here yet, so we might have to just talk amongst ourselves for a bit. Morning, Christine. Are you okay?
Hi, Tracy. Yeah. Well, thanks. You?
Good. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Naveed's here now. Kate's here. Naveed, we were just killing time till you arrived. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you now, yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I got held up.
That's all right. Right, well, we'll start because I'll just let people, if they arrive, I'll just let people in. But like I said, none of our guest speakers have arrived yet, so they'll have to wait our time, won't they, if they arrive. So welcome, everybody. Just before we start, next meeting is a face-to-face only. It won't be done online as well. We'll be at the town hall, rooms 2 and 3. So it'll be good to see everyone. We'll send out invitations as normal. There just won't be a Zoom link on there because we're not doing online as well. So it's either or. Primarily because the town hall is a very old building and the Wi-Fi can be a bit dodgy in places. So we don't want to put any stress on anyone. So it's either face-to-face or online. So there'll be no online next time. Okay. Hope that's all right with everyone.
Tracy, there'll be tea and biscuits, so I don't know if that'll get people in.
There will be tea and biscuits. You know what, Naveed, we might run to some fancy biscuits. I might bring some fancy biscuits. That might encourage people a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
Because we know we're all suckers for biscuits. So, okay then. So Victoria and Olivia are not here at the moment. I'm sure they'll arrive at some point. People are arriving. So I think we'll just launch straight in. We'll do the guest speakers later. Oh, people are arriving thick and fast now. So Burnley Health and Wellbeing Partnership Update. This isn't really a partnership update. What it is asking all of you if there's any themes running through the people that you're supporting. Is there anything that you want me to feed into the Health and Wellbeing Partnership for Burnley that you think, you know, the partnership should be working on or should be directing resources to? Has anybody got any themes that people are coming up with? For instance, people at Pendle came up with a couple of things. Housing's a massive issue in Pendle. You know, that housing support and support for people to use the technology to be able to bid for houses or apply for housing benefits and things like that. So that's being fed up and fed to various agencies. So is there anything that anybody has come across that they want to feed into the Health and Wellbeing Partnership? No, everything's all wonderful in Burnley. There are no problems at all. Is that right?
Sometimes
Tracy, I can't, oh,
Christine, go on.
yeah, I can't find, it's that long since I've used Zoom. I can't find where you put your hand up, so I don't know. No, I just echo that about the housing. It's a knock-on effect, isn't it, of the cost of living. I seem to be, probably like a lot of social prescribers, doing 80% Be With Us applications now.
Yeah.
And for social housing, and everybody's sitting at band 3 and going nowhere fast. So that is the ever decreasing circle of a knock-on effect of, you know, getting depressed and because of your finances and stuck
Yeah.
in inappropriate housing conditions. But you've got people who they might still be sofa surfing, but housing needs aren't even classing them really as homeless because they've got a roof over their head. But they
Yeah.
might be living in, you know, I've got one client who's living in quite an abusive situation, but is not seen as because it's not domestic abuse. It's
Yeah.
still you know what I'm saying without going into
Yeah.
detail. It's
Yeah.
abusive.
Yeah.
It's having a negative detrimental effect on mental health. But I just don't know where to go.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Christine. Has anybody got anything to add to what Christine said? Naveed?
Tracy, I echo what Christine's saying, and I'm not here defending a position, but we just don't have the accommodation. Unfortunately, we have families in hotel temporary accommodation, and we've got, I mean, I'm not a housing officer, so I don't know the rules and regulations, but all I can say is, given my experience of working with housing team, that there's a big demand for houses that we just can't meet because the cost of living is, the rents are too high, or the landlords just won't give them to people that are homeless for whatever reason, and they're just not coming forward with the properties at a reasonable price, and it's just extortionate at the moment. So it's trying to manage making sure people have got a roof over their head with an expectation and with, in terms of a priority need as well. So I just thought I better put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just just to add to that, Tracy and Naveed, we're finding as well, ironically, that because there's such a demand for social housing in Burnley, the private landlords are at a premium. So, ironically, I've seen private rented more expensive in Burnley than in the Ribble Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that much of a demand. So it's absolutely extortionate what private landlords are charging and getting away with. And as I say, I saw an equivalent lovely 1-bedroom cottage here in Clitheroe, you know, and it's just madness. I just don't know, you know, it's ludicrous.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything to add? I will feed that. I will feed that in. I'm not saying I can't wave a magic wand, obviously, but you know, they don't know what they don't know, don't they? Don't the partnership? So I will feed it in. Either me or Christine.
Sorry.
Leanne.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Tracy. Yeah, one thing I'm finding, because we primarily work over the phone around stress and anger, we have a lot of not a lot, but we have some referrals coming through, and we can't offer a translation service. And because there's so many different languages and different dialects, you know, of people, sometimes we struggle with that. I mean, that might be something I can just find myself, I suppose, but it would be a question, you know, is there anybody out there? And as I'm just saying that, actually, we've got Calico who do work with refugees, so maybe they have somebody. Just thinking this out loud now. But again, it's not free. The service isn't free. We can't offer, we can't pay for a translator and then, you know, offer the service for free. So that's something with such a range of different languages at the moment in Burnley, you know, everywhere. I'm in Blackburn as well. That's something I'd just put forward.
Yeah. Hey, Naveed, do you remember when we used to have the translation and interpretation unit? I used to work in that in the council, and we used to offer interpretation and translation services.
Brilliant. Wow.
But clearly that went by the by years ago, years and years ago. But perhaps there's a need for it again. Naveed.
Well, I was just going to say there is a need, and Leanne's right. You know, with it's extortionate though, but the specialism around the translation skills. You know, if you're dealing with legal stuff or health related stuff, and you need to get that message across, there's a specialism around that. And Leanne, spot on in terms of the fact that you just can't get them, and it's so expensive. But what some people do is, what's a wonder at the moment is Google Translate, and you know. But like you said, you can't just rely on that, because it might not. If you translate and then translate it back, it gives you a different picture. But at the moment, people that are coming through, with my experience of working with the refugees and asylum community, is they're actually more better than me at working the Google Translate and navigating the system. So maybe that's something we can do. I mean, I know I was shopping around for a translator and interpreter for a serious legal interview, and the prices were extortionate. And you think, if you're running a service and a bit, how can you afford to put that in? And if you cost that in, you're going to be looking for a lot of money. So but I think New Neighbours together, that the refugee network, they have individuals that might access your service. So they might have someone, I'm not saying that they do, there might be a conversation with them, with Ruth, and say, you know, and the odds are it'll be one of their service users, that's somebody that they connect with, who's probably coming to yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. What's she called? Ruth?
She's called Ruth at New Neighbours Together.
Thank you.
She is part of this network, Leanne, so her contact details will be on the members list.
Excellent.
The reason she doesn't come, Tracy, I've just got to tell you this, is because Thursday morning they do a drop-in. And they're absolutely chocker now with the demand for their service, with the a lot of asylum seekers getting leave to remain.
There are a few. There's a lot of groups. I mean, we're over 100 members now for Burnley Linked, and there are a few that have things happening regularly on a Thursday morning, so they can't attend the meetings, but they do send in their information, and we do get it out there. But do feel free. You know, everybody that becomes a member gives permission to share amongst our membership. So please do feel free to contact anyone on that list. Emily, I've just noticed you. Hello. It's been a while. Anyone else got anything that they want to add to the about housing or interpretation, translation services, or anything else? To be honest, Hassan, are you coming across anything at the Char Centre?
I think we get a mix of quite a few things, from mental health to loneliness. And just going back to, it's funny, I just got an email today from one of our consultants exactly about the cancellation, because we have the same issue as a trust, where especially if someone's got dementia and their first language is not English,
Yeah,
it's even more difficult.
yeah, yeah.
And I think years ago, I don't know if you still have it or not, but as a charity and us, we got volunteers, you guys got volunteers. Could we sort of have a volunteers interpreting service where, as a passport, so CBS, us as a trust, ICB as a board, and we have this pool of volunteers could go around, would it be volunteer sector or ICB board, or an ICB board who controls them, or I don't know how the may say it, but it costs effectively, because it goes back to the point where you said, a lot of times I've taken my parents to some of the appointments and sat with them and listened to the interpreter. It was totally wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't say anything because they said, "Oh, you're a family member." I'm thinking, I'm potentially better than what that person said.
I think it depends what the interpretation's for. Having worked in that unit, and I know that there's some legality. So if it's, for instance, a statutory service like an NHS service, for instance, or there's something legal about it or statutory about it, it's got to be somebody who's certified as a public service interpreter. However, I could put it to our volunteer hub, Hassan, around recruiting, volunteers to interpret on a community basis, for activities, etc. And Leanne, that would probably fit with what Shine. I'm not saying it'd happen overnight, and
No.
we need funding for it, but I'll be coming on to funding streams that we've got later, but perhaps we could apply for RCB funding to do that.
If it's a joint one, like we could, like for example, we could recruit volunteers as well, and say they could be as a pool of volunteers. It doesn't have to be us. It just has to be, but that would help. That we might have a lot of people that want to volunteer, want to do translation, but because we might not have time to help them, we might have some volunteers as well. But if you have these pools, they could sort of say, "All right, we could also go to NHS, we could also go to Burnley Centre, we go to ICB board." I think. If you look at ICB, they're always looking for cost effective, aren't they?
Yeah.
And how we could save money. And I think this could save thousands, if not more.
Oh, I'm with you every step of the way. Why they ever got rid of the translation and interpretation unit is beyond me in Burnley. But it's not for us to reason why, is it? Money saved, cost savings and all that went years ago. But I'll certainly put it to our volunteer hub, and there might be a joint bid that we could put in, Hassan, or if the Char Centre wanted to put a bid in to RCB funding. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do with that.
Yeah, I like the idea of having. You're right. It would just be a pool of volunteers, wouldn't it? Who wouldn't necessarily be attached to us as individuals. They would just come together, and then and everybody you'd put a call out, wouldn't you? I need somebody who speaks this language.
Yeah,
do we
and
have
it
anybody
could
in that pool?
It could be, we could ask those volunteers when they would be available. So somebody might be available with this particular language between, Mondays between 9 and 5, or there might be another one that might speak Farsi between, and they might be available on Tuesday afternoons. And you just have to, if you were having appointments with people, you just have to gear your appointments around when the volunteer was available.
Yeah.
But it's workable. That's workable. It's doable. Because we're not a statutory service, we can do our appointments anytime. It's when it's a statutory service that it becomes a bit more difficult, and the interpreter's got to fit around that service. But it's certainly something that, it's an idea that we could look into. That could help a whole host of organisations, couldn't it, out in the community? Social prescribing link workers included, Christine. Because it's not a medical.
we've got a
Language
language
line.
line, you know,
Yeah.
with through the GP surgery, so that's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very costly, but that's what we tend to use. But it's telephone based. It's not the best, but it's something.
Yeah, we just have to be really careful that the volunteer interpreters would not be used for medical appointments.
No, or legal stuff.
Or legal stuff.
I mean, I'll give an example of I visited somebody who lives close to the Chai Centre, and the son said he was going to be there for interpretation purposes, but the son was at work, and neither the gentleman nor his wife spoke very much English at all, but a friend arrived fortuitously just at the time, and he was able to interpret to some extent. However, when it came onto finances, it was totally inappropriate because it was so confidential, and there's lots of things I couldn't disclose.
Yeah.
So practically it worked for a time, but you know, I feel for people like Leanne. It's really difficult to, you know, especially if you're trying to counsel somebody. I've used Lancashire BME Network before, and talking therapies, and it's very difficult. Translation is such an art, really.
Yeah, it is. Anyone else got anything to add to any of the issues that's been brought up, or got any new ones that you want to bring up? I'm looking around, nobody's waving at me frantically, nobody's putting their hand up. Great stuff, great stuff. Thank you for that, everyone. Thank you. I will mention it to our Michelle. She couldn't be here today, otherwise she would have been able to talk on her own behalf. But I will mention it to our Michelle, our volunteer hub coordinator, and see what we can come up with. And it might be, you know, and it might be best that it's with a separate organisation, and then, you know, the interpreters are called upon, rather than it being, because volunteers can get fed up easily as well. You know, if they're not being used, they can get quite fed up, and they lose interest, and that's not good. Whereas if we've got a pool, you know, and we're all using them, so that'd be good. Thank you for that. That's a really good idea. So our guest speakers are still not here, so whether they turn up or not, who knows? But it was Victoria from Talking Therapies and Olivia from Crowdfund Lancashire. If they turn up, they turn up. If they don't, they'll be able to do it face to face next time. So new connections, updates from your own organisations. If I just go around the screen, if you've got nothing to say, that's absolutely fine. You can just say, I've got nothing, you know, I've no update this time. That's absolutely fine. Not a problem. I won't put any pressure on anybody. So I'll just go from left to right on as I see it on my screen. So Leanne, you're first on my screen.
Is this where I can talk about something new?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been continuing to run the sessions at the Chai Centre. So that's where we deliver our face-to-face work for men. So we're continuing to do the exercise class on a Thursday, 11 till 12, which is free for men to attend, and a Friday, which is 4 till 5. But we're also running some walks, and they're going to be every month. So the next one is Thursday, the 6th of June. And it's at 10 till 12, and it's ran with sorry Hassan, I'm stumbling on this. We've co-produced a session with one of the wellbeing practitioners, Harmony, and this is a co-produced walk around wellbeing. So we've got different themes for it, depending on the day and depending on who arrives, but it's for men. It's 6th of June, it's 11 till 12. The idea is we walk locally, it's a gentle stroll. We're going to take some photography while we're out there. We're going to use our phones, take some pictures. We've got the garden space at the back to do a grounding before we go out and to come back in and then have refreshments. I've got a flyer.
Send it to us, Leanne.
Send it on. Thank
We'll
you.
get it whizzed round, and we'll put it in
Thank
our
you.
info share as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leanne. I'm next, or me and Katie are next on here. So I've just got a couple of updates from our Michelle. On Monday at 6 o'clock, Michelle will be at St Anne's Church for a volunteer recruitment and appreciation event. So it's tea and cake. Anybody who'd like to go over to St Anne's Church in Waterfoot and Rosendale. On Wednesday, there's a recruitment event. I think Charlotte might talk a little bit about this as well. There's a recruitment event at Burnley Mechanics. On Thursday, we're well busy. On Thursday, from 11 till 3, there is a volunteering for wellbeing and community hub appreciation and wellbeing event at Ghana Community Centre. And also on Thursday at Whitworth Leisure Centre, there's a volunteer recruitment and appreciation event there too. So we're all over the place next week. Michelle's going to be well busy. Also from us, there's a family fun day on today at Ghana Community Centre. So direct any families up to Ghana. Our RCB funding is open, even though we don't have the actual funds in our account yet. The application process is open. So if you'd like an application form, or you know any groups that want an application form and some guidance, I'll put Heather's email address in the chat. Eric Wright funding is open. That's for really small groups. You know, you can have up to £500 just to start you off and build your evidence base for the larger funding streams. UK Shared Prosperity is still open. The deadline is Monday at 5 o'clock. So anybody that needs 20 grand just to sort the community organisation out or do a fantastic project, please do get in touch and we'll send you out the application form and the guidance. So I'll put that in the chat. Have I missed anything, Katie?
No, the event at St Anne's starts at 3:30 though.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be there.
Okay. So Katie will be there as well. So if you've got any groups that want any advice on funding, any governance, or just want to chat through something with Katie, she'll be there as well. So that's me done. So has anybody got any questions for me, or sorry, for Leanne either? No, you're all looking at me. No, great stuff. Naveed, you're next on my screen.
Well, I'm a bit speechless. We've had a lot going on since the elections. We've had a new mayor in the town. So if anybody's got events on and you want to book the mayor, then go online on burnley.gov.uk and just book mayor booking. And there's a form you can complete. So if you're doing an event, it's a civic role. It's not a political role. And you know, get the mayor out to meet groups. Kids love the mayor with the chains and all these conversations. So if you've got any event on and you want to book the mayor, they've got these rules of 10-day booking. So please do look, please do try and get the mayor out. I think we should make them work really hard. But I think they do work hard because they do that alongside a job. The other thing I wanted to mention is quite a big task that's taking place in the town for the next 10 years. It's the long-term plan for towns. So for the next 10 years, we've got £20 million to spend, and it's on 3 elements, which is around transportation and links and public links, the safety and safety element around there's a scope of the area within the town centre and just out to try and look at ways of improving the borough and what people want. So residents have got a great opportunity, like they do at all consultations, to actually have a say around, transportation, health and safety in towns. And the third one is the Heritage Action Zone. So there's little subgroups and there's a town board. The council are not leading on this. I know we kind of push the narrative on it, but we want to get it promoted as much as possible. So we might be coming back to Burnley Linked. It's been named as a group with a lot of members, access to a lot of residents, to be able to ask people to help shape the vision for the town for the next 10 years based on the 3 things I mentioned about transportation, safety and heritage. So yeah, I just thought I'd flag that up, and maybe we can get there was a survey that was sent out, and we had about 1,000 people respond, and there are groups that people are trying to connect with. to try and look at this. So how would you spend 20 million? It's not going to affect me. If I've got kids and they live in Burnley, it's going to affect them more. And we're keen to try and hear a lot of voices of people from all different age range, different backgrounds for the next 10 years. You know, I'm hoping to retire. So, you know.
Me too.
And that's it from me, really. But and I don't know, I'm going to let you in on a secret to everyone, because I don't do the politics, but there's a general election happening. Don't tell anyone. 4th of July. And do you know, can I say something actually? They're actually looking for people to work on elections. So, you know, if anybody is interested, they might have filled the quota, but they are looking for people to work on election day and the count. So if you want to experience that side of it, you do get paid for it. Please let me know and I'll let you know who the people are to speak to. But I don't make them decisions, but it's a long day. You start at 6:30 in the morning and you work right through till 10 o'clock at night. You can't leave your polling station, but it's fun because you get to meet public. It's absolutely a brilliant job. Tracy's laughing because we've done it for years. And then the count, because it's a general election in Burnley, will happen overnight. So I just thought I'd flag it out there for anybody who might be interested, who might want to desperately work the election, you know, have fun all day, sat in a room.
It is, you know, it is a long day. However, it goes pretty quickly. And like Naveed said, you are meeting members of the public, and we all know how entertaining they can be at times, particularly around a general election. You know, everybody's got an opinion, and you're not allowed to say anything because you're working on the polling station. It is quite a good fun, actually. You know, they're after polling clocks and they're after presiding officers. You get more money for the presiding officer because you're in charge of the polling station. The count's also good. You know, you're surrounded by people. It's quite a good atmosphere usually, you know, and it's quite exciting because, you know, you've got all the candidates stood in front of you. You're doing your count. You know, we've often thought
Like
that
this.
our hand would be on Granada TV or, you know, BBC Northwest or whatever. And we you know, photographs are taken and stuff. So you become famous for 5 minutes because you're sat there doing the count. But that is quite exciting as well. It's quite an interesting process to watch. I'll be sat on a polling station, but because of me health stuff this year, I'm not doing the count as well. I mean, body just won't take it this time. But it is good, you know, yeah, and you think, you know, I'm going to be worn out, but you paid well for it and you do have a good laugh. And to be honest, all you do is eat all day because that's the only thing you can do. You just eat all day from 6:30 until 10 o'clock at night, particularly if you're with the likes of Naveed or our friend Raza, who bring loads of food with them. So anybody that's interested or anybody that you know that's interested, please do contact Naveed. You know, if you want a lived experience, please do chat to me. I'll tell you what it's like. But yeah, anybody, I'm sure they're always after them. If they're not for this year, they always are for every year. So thank you for that, Naveed. Charlotte, you're next on my screen.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So as Tracy said, we've got the volunteer recruitment fair happening next Wednesday at the Mechanics. So we've got around 20 organisations that have signed up to have stalls there, which is brilliant. So that's everything from leisure, culture, health, and other support services, working with young people, all kinds of things. So it's going to be a really good event, hopefully. So there's been lots of stuff going out on social media about it, but I can circulate the information again. And if you could all just filter it out to your networks and contacts, try and get as many people there as we can, given we've got such a good turnout of organisations taking part. So that's 11 while 3, as I said, next Wednesday. And then the other thing is that we have the Burnley Pride of Place hub open in Charter Walk at the moment till the 15th of June. So it's an exhibition space where we're inviting people from Burnley to come along, add in their stories, their memories, their objects, paintings, poetry, whatever you want to bring. So again, if you're working with any groups that you think that might appeal to, then they're welcome to come down. It's a really interactive space. We really want to get a really good overview of what people think about Burnley now, in the future, and we want to feed some of this into the long-term plan work that Naveed mentioned as well. So it's all important stuff, and a forum where people maybe feel a bit more relaxed to share things that they might not in other settings. So yeah, we're having some interesting conversations in there. So as I say, that's open till the 15th of June from Tuesdays to Saturdays. This Saturday, we've got KCR doing her Saturday Town photography shoot around Burnley style. We've also got an Asian poetry and art workshop happening. We're going to have young people from Blaze Arts interviewing people on the street about Burnley. We've got a talk on Tuesday about Burnley Then Now, from Edward Walton from the Civic Trust. So there's lots of little things happening as part of it. So do follow the Facebook page, the Burnley Pride of Place Facebook page. Yeah, just get involved. We want as many people to have a say and to take part as possible. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Charlotte. There's a lot happening, isn't there, in Burnley? More than you first realised. Hassan, you're next on my screen.
Hi everyone. Chai Center. Yeah, it's getting busier than before. The garden group's getting quite busy. We've working with Lancashire Wildlife Trusts. We've had quite a few volunteers. We just made a new pergola outside with a fire pit. So I'm hoping when we get new summer weather, if we get a summer weather, we could do some work outside it. So I think personally it'd be good if we got a group, and especially the well-being side, just sitting outside in the pergola, it'll be so good that they could enjoy that session. So the session's on Wednesdays. So if you've got anyone who might be interested to come down to our gardening group, the Wildlife Trust do pay for transport. So if someone's struggling because of finance and can't make it here, they will pay towards transport as well to complete the garden group. Besides that, we got quite a few partners on board who deliver quite a few services at the child center. Our next plan is to get the internal service. So, for example, the mental health team based upstairs. So it's like we're going to be a hub for the community. So if anyone's got any issues, they could come here. We've got so many partners delivering so many sessions, which is it's getting busier day by day, which is good. It's nice to see the centre back up already.
Yeah, isn't it? It's nice to hear as well, Hassan, that it's getting busy again. Thank you. Kate. Are you struggling to unmute yourself, Kate?
I was on the wrong page. I was looking for something online just as Hassan was talking. I thought I'd look and see if I could dig out the funding page from Lancashire County Council. Typical, you asked me then. So yeah, there was just a couple of things I wanted. I've already put them in the chat anyway, but I just wanted to talk about them. There's the Age of Inspiration event at Downtown that that you've both, Naveed and you have both shared with, with people. We've got quite a few organisations that have signed up, and we've still got some free places for that, for punters, and we're looking for over 50s. Basically, the idea is that it's people who are socially isolated, ideally, that would come along, and it's going to be a fun event with looking at well-being, and apparently they're normally quite well, I've heard them being called raves, which I've never been to one in all the other parts of Lancashire, but I've heard really good things from colleagues and other partners about these events. So hopefully Downtown will be fun. So yeah, do feel free to invite anybody that you think might be interested in going along, and encourage them to sign up. Because if we end up with lots of people turning up on the day and we've not got places for them, it could be a bit of a problem. But there's also, I've put in the chat, the Lancashire Community Orchards. There's an opportunity for any groups that fancy the idea of doing a bit of planting in there, if they've got any green space, they can get up to 25 trees. You need to apply for between 5 and 25, and it's the opportunity is open till March 25. But if the money goes in advance, then obviously it's going to close down. So the sooner groups get an application in, the better. And it'd be really lovely to add to the trees that are already being planted in the Burnley area, to specifically look at orchard trees. So, you know, when we're looking at food poverty, it would be great to have lots of cherries and plums and apples and things around the area that people can come and pick. And obviously it's really nice to have trees that you can go and sit and have picnics underneath them and all that kind of stuff in the summertime. So yeah, basically get on the website and put an application in. It takes 6-week turnaround, so they do it. They look at applications once every month. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. You're right. It does sound lovely, does that? Community orchard kind of idea. Freya from UCLan.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, cool. Just, there was one time where I couldn't get it to unmute, so I'm always paranoid that I'm just talking and nothing's coming out. Not masses, but we've had Burnley West End come over and have a tour of Victoria Mill, you know, looking at like the anatomy lab and all the different facilities that we've got over at Victoria Mill. And that just worked really nicely. It was just a nice day where they came over and took a look at the facility. So it's not we just did it as an ad hoc thing. But if you do have a group who might be interested in coming over and looking at the different facilities that we've got over at Victoria Mill, it's quite interesting, you know, like in the skills lab with like the dummies that they use for medical practice and things like that. It's quite cool, the different thing, and they've got like the engineering labs and things like that. So it's not something that we run regularly. It's sort of ad hoc, so it's not like I could guarantee that we could arrange it. But if you do have a group who'd just like to come over and have a tour, let me know, and then I can see whether we could arrange it, because that worked nicely. And then hopefully we're going to be going over to see them and doing a tour around well-being. So they're coming to us and then we're coming to them. And then we've just started the planning for World Anatomy Day. So it's in October, so I've got nothing. It's, you know, nothing sorted, but it's going to be really interesting. We've got all the different stations around anatomy getting planned, and it's just going to be a fun community day. So that's exciting, and I think I'll look into that, book in the mayor, see if we can get them to come to our community event. That would be nice. Yeah, and we've got our community garden that's got some of the new plants from offshoots, and they've gone into the ground over at us. So that's nice that they've come over and they're now growing on our campus, so that we've got our community garden growing. And then we've just got a few different things that are in the pipeline, but not sorted yet. So we'll see what happens. But we're in discussions with different groups to arrange different meetings. That would be nice.
Thanks, Freya. And Naveen's just put in the chat about the mayor to an event. Is it website link, Nav? Yeah. So if anybody wants to invite the mayor to an event, please do.
Don't tell them I've been telling you to do that though, because if they get inundated, I'm going to I want to retire.
Thanks, Freya. Bethany, you're next on my screen.
I've got no updates at the moment.
No worries. Thank you, Bethany.
Thank you.
Rebecca?
Yeah, I haven't got any updates, but I did get approached by somebody from NHS Lancashire and South Cumbria Integrated Care Board, who was asking about how to support people with chronic pain or maybe fibromyalgia or health inequalities. And I'd suggested doing something online, like a gentle movement session. So I'm going to kind of put that out. I've had a conversation with her and said, well, we'll do an expression of interest, you know. She's obviously got the ability to work with over 4,000 GPs, you know, across the area. But I wondered if there was any ideas on, because I can facilitate the class, the movement class, but I thought, would it be nice to have maybe it added on as a support group as well? That's obviously not something I can I could facilitate and open the space, but I just wondered if that was like a good idea to say, okay, we can have a fortnightly or monthly movement class, but also there could potentially be people on board to support. I don't know. I'm going to put it on the expression of interest and kind of have a tick box and say, obviously, movement class, would you like additional support? Maybe it would just be like a peer support group where people could actually come and just have a space to talk to each other about what they're going through.
Yeah, Rebecca, Leanne's just unmuted herself. So did you want to say something?
I think that sounds brilliant to have that. Yeah, definitely. I think that's brilliant. And that could work really well, definitely.
Yeah, we were thinking.
Where are you
online.
based, Rebecca? Sorry.
Well, we were thinking online for this one because, well, I think some of the conversations were that some people can't get out. You know, like I'm having a good day, but actually the class isn't on that day. I'm based in Todmorden, but I work in Bacup. I'm on the Burnley Link because I keep saying to Navida, I'm going to come and just turn up one day and make you invite you to do some movement. But I generally work with older adults and I do combinations of exercise, movement and dance classes. So I thought it'd be really nice to do a class that was movement and dance based. So it's not your generic exercise. It's more about that well-being, you know, kind of people being involved and showing them that they can do something, which is really good for their mental health. So I'm always thinking outside the box of how, you know, things could be bigger, but I just need to be like connected with the right people to kind of open that out.
Rebecca, what you could do to gather some evidence for your RCB contact is apply for the RCB small groups funding. Do it for 6 months or whatever. Then you've gathered your evidence, and then it could go wider. Then if you've got your evidence, so get in touch with our Heather and just have a look at that guidance, because that's all about. It's all about preventing, you know, managing conditions, reducing GPs appointments, reducing A&E, all that you've just talked about. So please do get in touch with our Heather and see what the guidance says. But it sounds like it'd fit to me. It sounds like it'd fit. So you can gather your evidence and then go back to your RCB contact and say, look, this is what we've done, and this, you know, it's proving it then.
And in terms of saying as well, I suppose that research behind, do people want additional support? Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. And is that out now? Did you say?
It is. Yeah.
But it's,
I've put Heather's email address in the chat. So
thank you.
Just whiz her an email and she'll send you the funding application. What did you think?
I can do that.
Katie. Katie.
I'll send it on.
I'll put Katie's details in, so people can contact Katie as well. I can't do two things at once. I'm trying to type and talk at the same time, so I've slowed down. You can tell, can't you? There you go. There's Katie's email address as well.
Thank you very much.
Whilst you're talking, can I just say, I want to say to Rebecca, I am dancing whilst I am sat here. And Tracy will confirm, I've been dancing all my life. But I think what the suggestion and what's come out of Burnley Link today, the collaboration opportunities between Rebecca and that other elements of stuff. So we offer one service and people can have all the different add-ons, you know, would be absolutely fantastic. And I think it's really needed, Rebecca, you know, in terms of doing what you want to do and then linking with collaborating with someone else to offer that additional, because once you've got people in the room or online, you know, it's other things that you can do with people that makes it more meaningful for them. So yeah, great idea. And I am dancing, Rebecca, constantly as we move.
Good to hear.
And it's what Burnley Linked's all about. This is what it's all about, is saying, you know, I've got this idea, or I've been approached to do this, what do you think? And other people getting involved, and, you know, you're not having to use up all of your resources to be able to do it, but, you know, other people can jump in as well. So fab.
I've just added my email address to the chat, so if anybody wants to kind of just say, yeah, I'm interested, and then we can kind of collaborate a little bit better. Thank you.
Fab.
Okay, but Rebecca, if you want to use the child center, you're welcome. We could host it for you because we've got 2 rooms where you can do exercise in 1 room, and we've got some other rooms as well. So if you want to do anything, just if you pop down to child center, you can look at it yourself and see how it feels.
Thank you.
Fab. Thank you. Thanks, Hassan. Rachel? I know you put some stuff.
There we go. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you, because obviously I presented to you not that long ago, and we've had a fantastic response from that. Also, I was at the Burnley Job Centre job fair last Thursday, and we've had some applications for hosts, which means we can soon get a group up and running for Burnley with regard to dementia daycare. So if you do know anyone that's looking for a smaller group daycare setting for someone that's recently been diagnosed or has been living with dementia for a short while, then obviously, you know, take a look at our website. Referrals can be made there, or I've put my email address in the chat as well, so you can contact me directly. But no, really positive response from presenting to you all. So I just want to say thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Another success story. Hey, we're doing well here. We're doing well this morning, guys. Great stuff. Emily.
Oh gosh, 4 years of Zoom, and honestly, I still can't unmute myself. Hi everyone. So we've got quite a lot kind of coming up at BYT over the next kind of few weeks, months. So we're on our mid-season break at the moment, kind of following with the school terms, but then we'll be resuming our season next week. There's also a couple of new things kind of starting up next week, halfway through the season. So we've got some home ed workshops on Monday mornings. So we've really been trying to kind of build that like home education network. So if you do know anybody that is part of that and kind of wants, you know, to provide their child with something a little bit different on a Monday morning, then that is also going to be happening. I can send some links over as well. And then we have our Wild Wonder sessions that are the first Friday of every month. So I think the next one is the 7th of June, which I think is next Friday. So it's kind of aimed at families and children under 5. Bring your little ones along and they can kind of have some storytelling outside. It's based on a different book each month. I think June's book is, if I'm right, is Elmer and the Rainbow, which is like that really cute, colourful elephant one, which is quite nice. And then they do a little bit like messy play and kind of things outdoors. So it's about kind of encouraging that kind of space just to allow children to kind of like engage in stories, but be a little bit silly, be a little bit messy. And they're really lovely sessions as well. And then we've got our 2 shows coming up in July. One of our shows is on the 13th of July and it's called The Secret Garden. And then the week after, on the 20th of July, it's Great Expectations. So it's just a really nice opportunity. If you've got groups of young people, those casts are full of young people. The Secret Garden is 7 to 11. And then Great Expectations is 11 to 18. I think it's just really nice for young people to see people that are just like them on stage and know that, you know, it can be them if they kind of wanted to do that. And then also we've recently got some money for running an activity for Refugee Week. I've sent over all the information to, I believe it's Mary that was my contact there. So hopefully there's going to be a brochure about kind of all of those things as well. And that's kind of it from BYT. Oh, and our summer school is in August. The dates for that are the Monday 12th to the Friday 16th of August. And it's kind of Roald Dahl themed with a little bit of like arts, drama, crafts. And that's free to book, not free to book onto, sorry, it's available to book onto now. And that's it from us. Thank you.
Sounds great. Can I come, Emily? I'm a good colourer, as you know. Emily and I did some colouring together a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Oh yeah, the beautiful canvas. I love that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's up in the centre now. It's displayed in the centre now.
Oh, amazing. I'll have to come and have a look. It's
Come and have a
fantastic.
look. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Christine, any news from Burnley West PCN?
No, not really. I don't know if Kate's still on. I don't know whether Kate wanted to mention Southwest Burnley Community Action Group. Is she 28? Kate?
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't know if it.
I don't know if it's
poster that we did yesterday, the 28th of June, the engagement event, the first engagement event.
Sure, we can just mention, like, it's just really an opportunity to get people who live in that area, which I don't know how you'd explain it. It's kind of Rossendale Road down, what's the name of the other road?
So it's Valley Street, Valley Street Community Centre. It's going to be, you know, on Rosendale Road, opposite the petrol
How do you explain the Southwest Burnley community?
Like from Manchester Road over to Rosendale Road, and then down again to Accrington Road.
That's the one.
It's like that triangle.
Yeah, so it's that area. People who live in that area are being invited to come down, and it's about getting neighbours to link up with each other, to talk to each other. So they'll be the ones who will be facilitating this session at Valley Street. People like myself and Leanne Townley will be sort of serving teas and coffees and that kind of thing. So we'll just be there to help support the facilitators, who will be volunteers from the local community. And the idea is it'll be a fun and interactive session to get people to come up with their ideas about how they would like to see the community in the future, the ideas that they have about when the community was doing well, and what, you know, to pick out those things about what are those things that do work well in the community. So it's about building on the positives that are happening in the community and looking at, okay, where do we go next? What would people like to see, and would they like to get involved in the ideas that they're coming up with? So it's the beginning of a process of helping the community to do community building, really. So it should be fun.
And all of that feeds into the Burnley long-term plan as well, doesn't it, Kate?
Absolutely. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that
just suddenly muted yourself.
That was clever, wasn't it? Yeah. I see that community has been a bit further ahead than some other communities when it comes to, like, they've been going for a long time with local people leading what happens. But the kind of stuff that happens in this community, it can be an example for other areas that might also want to think about trying something along these kind of lines. But these things take years, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Years and years and years. Yeah, they do. And you've got it. You know, you've got to have people that are interested and want to and are active and are proactive. And that can be quite challenging sometimes, particularly when you've got a bit of a transient community.
Well, it's that thing now, isn't it, that we've got some amazing people who've been doing brilliant work for their working lives as volunteers in that community, but they won't be there forever. And it's about trying to help support people who will be coming on, who are seeing them as inspirational people, and trying to see if we can help build more of that wonderful stuff that already happens in Southwest Burnley.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just about increasing confidence as well, isn't it, Kate? You know, people can do it. They just need to be told they can do it. And
also it's about organisations like ours stepping back and saying you know, we want to support you, but not actually telling people what to do, because it's frankly none of our business. Well, you know, like councils, it's about local people making those decisions for themselves, but us enabling.
Yeah. Thanks, Kate. Anything else, Christine? No. No. Okay, thank you. Last but not least, Tammy, I know you've put some stuff in the chat. I'm not sure whether you want to talk through it.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the camera to come on, so I'm not quite sure what's happening. Yeah, we've got a few things to share with you all. We had a flyer, I think, was sent out to everyone last week. It's our Time for You course. It's a beautiful little programme. It's going to have a range of activities that we're basing around hobbies. And it's all to develop positive mindset. It's for 19 years plus. It's going to be a 6 weeks course. It actually starts next week, but it's all right. You know, anyone can come along at any time to start with us. We're quite flexible. And what we're hoping is from them coming onto the course is that we're hoping that we can get people to go on to the entry-level numeracy programme. But there's going to be no pressure at all for that. The course is like on a maths embedded, and you know, to help people to try and start get the qualifications, and then maybe, you know, to go on and to progress. So I think I sent the flyer over last week, so I think you kindly sent that out for us. We've also got, I'm going to email this over later for you, we've got the Family Matters courses. So we run courses for Time Out for Parents. We've got an ASD course. So that's for parents to understanding autism and the way it affects your child. We'll put support and strategies to help the family relationships. So we've got a course starting next week, but we've also got dates for September and November. We have a course for ADHD. And again, that's understanding ADHD and how it affects your child. And we give support and strategies to help the family. We've got the course running in June, September and November. We sort of change the times of the courses. So sometimes they might be in the morning, so people can attend that one. Then we might change it to the afternoons. And then we also run evening courses. So we try and vary the times for people to be able to attend. The teenage years, that's actually a 5-week course, and that's for parents to help with teenage years can sometimes be a challenge. And this course explores the issues affecting teenagers and their parents. That'll be running in June, September and November. And then the other course we run is Handling Anger in the Family. So that's promoting healthy tips with our children and family members and strategies to handle the anger better. That will be running in September and November. But I'll send over the leaflet, and anyone who's interested, we've got a QR code on there, but you can always contact us. And if you think you may have someone that might like to attend, or give our details, and we'd be happy to have a chat with them. And we had our open day. It was nice to meet some of you, I think. But if you didn't manage to make it, please contact us. You're more than welcome to pop in to come and have a look round. We've moved into the new building, and there's absolutely great facilities here. We've got a lovely, nice, big training room now where we're delivering the first aid courses, and we've got the open outdoor area as well, which now we can start to use and incorporate more with our courses. Got a nice big car park close to the town, so please, if you'd like to come on over, we'd love to see you. Come on in, and we can show you what we can do here.
Thanks, Tammy. I can testify to that. I did go.
It was lovely. Well, it was
yeah,
a really nice day.
We're lovely. It's a lovely building, lovely outdoor space, and they have got a nice big car park.
Yeah, it's nice and tranquil as well. Just to say, like, we're close to the town centre. It is just really nice here, and you know, the people we've got coming up attending the courses, we're having really great feedback. It's been really nice.
Yeah.
Where is the location exactly?
Yeah, thanks.
Well, it's classed as Hamilton Street, which is where the job centre is, but it actually runs up the road as well. So we like to describe it as we're behind Mode nightclub.
Right.
Yeah, you just drive up there, and we're at the back there, and yeah, nice big car park. as I said, close to the town centre. Please, if you'd like to come up, just
Is
let
it
us
near
know.
Lodge House, Tammy? Is it near Lodge House and the back where the Empire is?
No, Nav, it's behind Maud Nightclub, you know, at the back of the town hall. So you come through the traffic lights from Parliament Street and go straight across as though you're going to Westgate. And just as you come through those traffic lights after Finsley Gate, there's a turning. There's two turnings on your left hand side. It's the second turning, so you can go up the hill. It's called Chapel Place. Behind where the builders merchants used to be, if anybody knows that, Tommy Ainsworth's.
Yeah, from the Burnley Building Supplies and Mode Nightclub, which is the old church which has the big banners on. There's a little road up there, Chapel Place, and you can drive up there, and we're in Chapel Annex.
Yeah, it's a nice little place. It's just outside the centre enough, isn't it, just to be quiet up there.
Yeah, it's a great location because we're close to, you know, we've got people coming by the bus, but there's also like the train station up above, and anyone coming over to us on the courses, you know, just a few minutes away from the motorway as well. So it is a great location.
Fab. Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you.
Leanne, did you have a question, or is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Fab. Thank you, everyone. Look at the time. We're 5 minutes late. What's going on? That's not like me at all. It's because we've had some good stuff talked about today, haven't we? And we've just run with it. So it's a good job we didn't have any guest speakers. We haven't got time for them. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Keep up those connections. Please do. You know, there's been some good stuff talked about today. You know, Rebecca's idea, Leanne and Rebecca maybe getting together, and you know, Rachel, you've made some good connections as well. So thank you, everyone. Remember, face to face next time. So, you know, don't wear your pajamas. Please do. If you know, wear your makeup, do your hair, look your best that you can. We will be taking photographs as well. So, for anybody, we will be asking permission before we do that. But just to prove that we're doing what we're doing, I need to evidence what we're doing as well. So, so thank you, everyone. See you at the town hall next month. Naveed, you've always got to have the last word, haven't you?
No, sorry, I just thought I better remind everyone, parking is limited. But if you need access for anybody, please let me know. I can meet you at the back door, let you in through the back door. But let me know if there's any specific access requirements anybody needs.
Fab. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of your day, regardless of the weather, despite the weather. Keep smiling, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.